Characteristics of clear data analysis. The analysis of the data should present a clear picture of the strength and the direction of relationships, or of the significant differences that were found. Illustrations used in the analysis of relationships or differences should conform to the same standards that were discussed earlier in this section on the organization of data. So statistical tables and figure captions should be brief but informative. Tables and figures should be capable of standing alone in presenting the analysis. So all the readers should have to do is look at the figure and understand what's going on, not necessarily have to read the text. However, there should be a narrative that should dovetail easily with the illustrations in the discussion of the data analysis. So the text in the results section should go easily with the figures. Data display. How the information is displayed in the results section can determine whether the nature and the meaning of the data are understood by the reader. So data tables, statistical tables, charts, graphs, data plots. The authors need to decide what they want to put in based on their space limitations to best tell the story. Figures may include many forms of illustration, from drawings to photographs to audiograms, spectrograms, anatomical maps. Depiction of data traces and transduced signals, graphical displays, and graphs help the reader picture what was described in the text. So if you're more like a visual learner, the graphic display should tell a story, clear, concise, but with a rich amount of results. The data table should represent the most common mode of presenting the quantitative information. Graphs and data plots often accompany tables to indicate the overall pattern of results, especially when there is an interaction between the variables. Whether a table or a graph, these displays should present the data accurately, be clearly labeled for easy reading and interpretation, and relate well to the textual description of the data. They should be organized so that the reader immediately understands the author's empirical statement regarding the problem posed in the introduction. Like I said, brief and informative, quickly convey what's being done. Readers should know immediately where to find the data entries for each subject or experimental condition. They should just be able to look at it and understand it. In the Journal of Speech Language Hearing Research, table titles and figure captions should be concise but explanatory. The reader should not have to refer to the text to decipher the information. So if the reader doesn't want to read the results section, they shouldn't have to. They should be able to get enough information by looking at the tables and figures. Each table or figure needs to be capable of standing alone as an illustration of the results. Tables should be sufficiently clear and complete so that the reader can spend time studying it without having to constantly refer back to the text to understand it. They should dovetail together. Make sure you're not missing any information, that everything's labeled, the X and the Y axis, the different independent and dependent variables. Make sure that you're consistent in how you put the information forward. Just, clear, concise paper, just like the writing that you do to tell a story.